Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Making Money in a Volatile Energy Market, the evolution of subsea engineering in a diversifying energy world, brought to you by Koil Energy. My name is Tony McLaughlin. I'm the Director of Comms at Allele Communications, and I'll be your moderator today as we explore why the subsea sector is experiencing a powerful resurgence and what that means for offshore operators, the energy ecosystem, and investors. As U.S. shale production plateaus and years of underinvestment in offshore oil and gas catch up with global demand, subsea infrastructure is emerging as a critical stabilizer in the world's energy supply chain. So today you'll hear from three industry leaders on the macro forces reshaping the offshore energy landscape, Koil Energy's unique position as a subsea innovator, and the financial implications for investors who are thinking about what's next. Not 5 years from now, but right now. So let's begin with some introductions. Erik, if you want to kick us off, just a little bit about yourself, please.
Thank you, Tony. My name is Erik Wiik. I'm the CEO of Koil Energy. I've been with the company almost 2 years now. I've been the CEO for about 1.5 years. And I really enjoy not only working with Koil, but also working in the subsea industry, which I've been in for more than 30 years. So it's a very exciting segment to work in and a fantastic company to be part of.
Awesome, thank you. And Chris, we'll jump to you.
Yeah, again, as Erik said, Tony, thanks for having us today. So with almost 15 years with Koil, I've shared many hats as I've been within the industry. So I have a mechanical engineering background, and through my time here, I've really gained a lot of knowledge within the surface sector, and I've been a senior leader here, and I've overseen the full life cycle of complex subsea projects, developed strategic initiatives within engineering, operations, and the business development, committed to the advancement of the offshore energy sector through informed, purpose-driven decisions here at Koil to drive the long-term value to our investors.
Wonderful, thank you. And then Kurt, we'll go to you.
Hi. I am Kurt Keller. I'm the CFO of Koil Energy. I am one of the newest members of the team. I joined about 3 months ago, and I have a background in the lower middle market with companies of about Koil's size and working to grow and scale them up where there's the opportunity. My industry background is in industrial services. I've worked engineering, construction, also power generation, and I have worked in oilfield services before. So it's great to be part of the team and the opportunity.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so we'll get started here on kind of that macro outlook. What's fueling offshore resurgence? So Erik, offshore activity has clearly re-entered the spotlight after a long period of dormancy. Can you walk us through the macroeconomic and market forces that are driving this resurgence and why timing matters so much right now?
Absolutely. Years of underinvestment in offshore exploration and development have brought us to a critical juncture. Without a significant ramp up in deepwater exploration, the world could soon face a severe shortfall of oil and gas supply. This is what we're waking up to, and I see our clients are taking advantage of this void and then taking responsibility for the supply in the future. So existing deepwater fields naturally decline at an average rate of about 7% per year, underscoring the urgency for new development. As a minimum, we need to replace this volume on an annual basis. While swing producers from onshore fields contribute more of the annual global volume than offshore production, there is no way it can replace these giant subsea fields that can supply a steady flow of energy for decades using that same infrastructure. In practical terms, the short cycle and the long cycle projects don't compete. They are complementary in many ways. From our viewpoint, we see the global operators, our clients, shifting more capital towards deep water and ultra deep water, particularly in the Gulf of America, offshore Brazil, and in the North Sea. Now, these long cycle developments are what we call greenfield projects. They're dependent on successful exploration drilling, so the activity level for us is dependent on successful finds. That goes up and down. But as long as we have examples such as Exxon and Hess's successes in Guyana, we should not worry about the future of greenfields. Our clients are prospectors. They're going to keep on exploring. As we speak, there are currently 134 deepwater drilling rigs globally today drilling right now. Now, aside from greenfields, these big finds that I talked about, there are more exciting opportunities as well within Subsea. We call that Subsea tieback, and that's the integration of new wells into existing infrastructure, which is becoming the go-to development strategy for many offshore operators. It might actually represent about 60% of the future offshore field developments. The payback period here is significantly shorter than traditional offshore projects. Subsea tieback projects are gaining momentum worldwide as operators seek to maximize their existing assets. This approach, tapping into adjacent reservoirs, maximizing the underutilized topside capacity, and leveraging existing subsea infrastructure, has been employed for decades. So it's nothing new here in the application and the technology. In some mature basins, brownfield tie-ins have been ongoing for more than 20 years, while in other regions, they're just beginning to adopt this strategy to boost hydrocarbon production and enhance financial returns. One of the key advantages of subsea tieback is the potential to achieve first oil within 2 years of financial investment decision. However, success hinges on meticulous planning and swift execution. Integrating new equipment into an aging infrastructure presents both technical challenges and opportunities, making adaptability and foresight essential. Proven practical design rooted in deep team experience in subsea installation and commissioning plays a critical role in ensuring reliability and staying on schedule. Delays in a tieback execution project can rapidly erode project economics. This is exactly where Koil's expertise becomes important to our clients.
Perfect. Thank you, Erik. And speaking of Koil's expertise, let's dive in a little bit there. Chris, I'll jump to you. So Koil Energy has spent nearly 3 decades in the field solving these real-world subsea challenges. And as these tieback strategies are gaining momentum, what types of engineering and execution hurdles are you seeing, and how would you say Koil is uniquely built to solve them?
Well, first we want to take a step back and understand exactly what the operational conditions are required. So the operators have a break-even point, right? As what Erik was talking about, the subsea tiebacks are a good opportunity for them to try to reduce the schedule, as well as they already have that platform there, so they don't have the production time to actually build a platform. So it allows for the more quicker they're able to actually execute the work and get to first oil. And so their break-even points maybe started off in 2014 at $55 a barrel, where today they're now below 30. So it becomes lucrative for them to try to tap into those adjacent fields and to do production to those existing platforms. So there are operational conditions that they have to take into account for that to make sure that those platforms have the ability to actually handle that new production, but also understand the existing infrastructure constraints and to plan around it. So having a very proactive and approach with regards to the problem solving that they need to do for those platforms, and then from an engineering perspective, work toward that and have good contingency plans based on what they're seeing whenever they actually start executing that work. One thing that I like to note is that there's one operator here in the Gulf of America that has planned forward for this. They've developed 6 new platforms within the Gulf over the recent years and allows for a significant amount of these tiebacks to take place. So how do we address these specific challenges is by being nimble and provide feasible solutions and optimizing the installation timing. What does that mean? That goes into our products. How can we reduce the vessel times to be able to reduce the overall project cost to the operator so that it continues to be a lucrative solution for them to do these tiebacks. Another way that we can handle this is through compact structures that we send subsea, so they don't require the larger, more costly vessels to get the equipment into the water. Yet again, reducing the cost per barrel that actually takes them to produce that well.
Got it. And Chris, do you have specific examples of problems that Koil has solved in the past?
Well, a few different phrases that I think the industry needs to be aware of. The IRM, that we call that the installation, repair, and maintenance. What that means is we reconfigure subsea systems that are existing that maybe have an issue, and some of our products that we produce allow for quick turnaround to get, let's say if a well's down, to get that well back up and going and flowing. Yet again, trying to provide that value to our clients. The way that we do that is we partner with our clients. We work with them. We proactively provide solutions in advance to potential issues. And so whenever there is an issue that happens, we can build that product to get them back up and moving quickly. Another term is flow assurance. What does that mean? That means ensuring that the flow does not stop, and there's chemicals that can be put into the system to prevent hydrates from forming, as well as other solutions to have backups to whatever the systems that they have. We also talk about life of fields, and what does that mean? The life of field is anything to keep that field going to ensure, and we still want to maintain a positive return on investment. One of the products that we produce, it's not really a product but a service, is an umbilical retermination. And what that is, it's utilizing existing infrastructure and reworking it to a new state to allow for the operator to continue their production for a significant longer time versus having to spend a lot of costly repairs to keep that operation going. Some of the other projects that we're able to do is really, Erik talked about the greenfield solution. So the brownfield and greenfield are really coming together because of these tiebacks. And so what can we do with the brownfield infrastructure is we can have distribution equipment that allows for them to do these tiebacks. So it allows for them, instead of having one MQC plate slot, allows for them to have 4 or 6 of them to be able to utilize that infrastructure to go to that adjacent area without having to have a large investment for umbilicals to be tied back to that existing platform. So it really provides a lot of good opportunity for them to be able to utilize their existing fields, their existing infrastructure, and really reduce their amount of capital investment to produce that first oil.
Building off of that, so can you maybe go through with us a few real world examples of current work that Koil is doing kind of in response to this entire cycle that Erik has kind of outlined for us?
I think Erik's driving the business into that, and that's by us moving into Brazil. Our facility in Macaé shows that we've had joint sessions with our clients in the regions as well as within the United States of really showing where our capabilities are. How do we partner together to be able to plan forward with that? And the industry and the operators are really have a great discussion with us to be able to how we can partner with them to be asset to them whenever they do have a well down situation. We've also had the establishment of our subsea line, of our alliance with Subsea Design out of Norway. It broadens our portfolio with their misalignment. Allows for us to, their misalignment flange, which allows us to really further support the tie-in solutions to the existing infrastructures, as well as their pigging solutions that they offer, allow for a wide range of sizes and pressures that our clients have been very interested in supporting with.
Anything more that you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you mentioned it. It has taken us 28 years to build on this portfolio of technologies, and it's a testament to our long-term commitment and expertise. and a high-end market, this development of expertise is a significant competitive advantage to us as a company. At the same time, we cultivate a strong relationship, business DNA, and we see ourselves as a partner with our clients and align with their goals and their commitment to success. We move with the speed, but never at the expense of what quality and safety that we need to adhere to. So that's exactly what we need to leverage on as we grow in our journey.
Kind of connecting these three
You're on
here,
mute,
right?
Tony.
That macro outlook, the execution that Chris has kind of outlined, jumping to the investment opportunity. So Kurt, given the operational momentum that Koil has right now, how are you translating that into long-term financial opportunity for investors? And what makes this the right time to be paying attention?
Yeah, great question, Tony. What I see as a financial person, when you look at the industry tailwinds that Erik has talked about and the opportunities out there, I think Koil is really well positioned as a company to take advantage of it. And I think a big part of that is that we offer both the products and the services. We're not just focused on one or the other, and it gives us flexibility. The products contracts that we have a lot of times tend to be long term. They provide us a good base business. The services contract can be higher margin, but maybe shorter terms, and we can go into that and take advantage of those too. So it gives us a portfolio of different products or different things that we can offer, different revenue streams that de-risk the company. And it also allows us to allocate capital across the needed areas, especially on the services side where on rentals and other things, purchasing large equipment, there's times that we can add to our stock with that and take strategic advantage when cash flow allows and when it's the right time. I think another thing that I would add that allows us to take advantage of the trends is the fact that we have our shop and our engineers all together. It's not that our engineers are in a remote site or even overseas and are doing the drawings and then our shop people take them and build them. We have our guys in the same office. It's literally steps away from each other so that if they can see, hey, here's how they're designing it. People designing it, as they test it, they can give feedback to the engineers right there. So we break people out of the silos, we're nimble, and we have that feedback loop, which is really important and really helps us optimize our products and operate in an efficient way. And I think too, as we grow, we want to continue to do this. We're expanding down into Brazil, as mentioned, in the Macaia office that we have there. We're looking to set up a very similar sort of structure. We're small enough to where we're nimble and we can do that and provide just a really solid solution and build our expertise by doing that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Well, Erik, Chris, Kurt, thank you so much for your answers here. Before we move on to a quick Q&A portion, I'm going to wrap up quickly with a recap of what I think I've heard. But as I'm doing that, anyone, if you guys have questions, comments, anyone watching right now, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and we'll go ahead and answer those in a second. But just as a recap of what I think I've heard today is offshore is accelerating right now, not down the line. It's right now. And subsea engineering is the backbone of this resurgence. And Koil Energy is executing on this resurgence with a blend of speed and safety and deep technical expertise that's built over 28 years. So, that's something definitely to keep in mind as we look forward and what I think investors need to know now. So let's see. I see one question here. Let's see. Chris, I'm going to ask this to you. So Chris, you actually mentioned the importance of subsea maintenance. Can you expand on the scale of that opportunity?
So the different regions that we support, as a company, we support the world with regards to our services and products, but specific regions that we're seeking, such as Brazil, as well as Gulf of America and the Western Africa regions, all have this need. Every one of these areas are currently producing, and they see subsea issues. That can be a flow assurance issue, that can be an IRM issue. And so what that means is that as long as the wells are producing, they're always having something happen, and that they need our services. And it's our expertise, as what Kurt was talking about, our engineers, our operations teams working together to collaborate. And whenever we get that call, our teams are able to come up with a good technical solution and then execute that. Our teams work hand in hand, and so what we're able to provide to our clients is a one-stop shop, is what we like to say, meaning that there's synergies all the way from engineering to the installation, meaning that we provide value from the beginning of the project all the way to the end to ensure the client is achieve what their main goals are, and that's production.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Chris. Erik, I think I'm going to ask this next one to you. Someone wants to know what makes Koil different from other companies similar to it.
Well, let me first summarize the opportunities we're talking about here. And I think this is the first time in my career that I see three things happening at the same time. And we've talked about the greenfield, that they're still going to come around. We see the expansion in subsea tiebacks. And then Chris talked about the maintenance as well, because we have aging infrastructure. These are three big opportunities that are happening at the same time. So this is fairly unique. Now, what makes us unique? Because this is our expertise. We have the understanding of the technology, the application, and then can come up with the best advice when it comes to, for instance, installing something new together with something old, and then make that work together on the seabed. So the proof of that is really the client's feedback that I receive. And they frequently highlight our responsiveness to their needs and the seamless collaboration they experience when they work with us. The cross-functional teams we have that both Kurt and Chris mentioned, this is something they rarely see elsewhere. They also commend our commitment to safe craftsmanship and our clear mission to accelerate their path to production. They clearly feel that we are on their team and we're helping them to succeed.
Awesome. Thank you, Erik. Kurt, I think I'm going to pick one more here and I'll aim this one at you. What do you see, in your personal opinion, as the keys to Koil's growth?
Yes. I think with that, there are a couple of things. One is effective use of our capital and investments. We don't have any debt on our balance sheet, which gives us some room to grow, and we want to make the right investments and take advantage of the market and buy the equipment that we need. I think we have the capability to do that. I think also it's just leveraging our existing infrastructure. We have a really good sized shop here in Houston that is nowhere near full capacity that we can use, as well as we have what we think is a really good site in the Macaia, which is Brazil's base for oil and gas that we can build out. So I think there's a lot of operating leverage to use those and to grow and use them more efficiently. And then I think finally is just our human capital. We've been around for 28 years. We have a lot of people that have been here for a long time, know what customers need, know what level of service that we provide. And we have a low turnover rate, and we continue to emphasize that and keeping the right people to do the job right. I think all of those are really key for us to continue to grow and take advantage of the opportunity that we have.
So if I can add to that, Tony,
Please.
The question I often get, and I ask myself the same question, is it scalable, right? We are successful. We can execute the work with quality and safety. We get excellent customer feedback. Is it scalable? Can we continue to do this when we become bigger? And last year we grew 50%. That is significant, right? And we're still successful. So I absolutely think it is scalable, and I absolutely think we should be able to double, if not triple, our capacity in order to serve these three huge opportunities that we see in front of us.
What a great note to end it on. Thank you, Erik. All right. Well, with that, we're going to call it quits. Thank you three so much for your time. For anyone watching, if you had a question that didn't get answered, or you're interested in the full Koil investor deck, or you want to connect directly, you can visit koilenergy.com. You can also reach out directly. So thank you again so much for joining us. Make sure to follow along on all of Koil Energy's social channels, and then stay tuned as Koil continues to shape the future of offshore energy. Wonderful. Thank you, guys.